Hello and welcome to today's video. So I think I said in the last video I was working on an ignition module. Turned out that just had a diode that was shorted. It was the flyback diode across one of the relays, and so that relay wasn't functioning. So not really warranting a good video since it was just me replacing one diode. So anyways, on the workbench today we have a Solectria UMOC425TF, serial number 625. So it's in for repair, or well, test and evaluation. Yeah, so went ahead and I've got it all hooked up here. We are kind of hooked up real sketchily because this is one of those orange connectors on there, and I only have the gray ones, and they're keyed, so you can't plug them into each other. And I didn't want to take this orange one off to put a gray one on there because it's packed with silicone, and yeah, it's going to be nasty. So clip leads it is. Also, I don't actually have a red connector to gray connector adapter, which I need to make, but this is what we got. So kind of sketchily hooked up there, and speaking of sketchiness, we are running off the capacitor of doom, which I've kind of gotten parallel to the battery pack because it just can't put out any power at all anymore. The batteries are toast. They're all going to get recycled. They're not going to make it to the new house, which neither is the workbench. It's seeming like it's not going to fit, but yeah, we'll see what happens. But anyways, I think this workbench is staying with the house because we are moving. And this is the last thing that should be on the workbench before we move. So hopefully, well, take that back. I might work on some truck stuff. I'd really like to have my truck make it to the new house under its own power. That'd be really amazing, but we'll see what happens. So as before, we've got the contactor. So you got power coming in over here, and then it goes through the contactors with the pre-charge, and then goes out to the drive. So you know the drill. We're going to turn this on. I'll go ahead and click 5 volts to boot up the pack sniffer 2. I just have it plugged in over micro USB. Of course, you could run it off of 12 by putting it in either that connector or this connector. It has 12 volts available on it. And let it do its thing. So it's going to make sure that our cells and our fake cells and voltage are in range. Going to pre-charge. And now we're kicked in. So we've got high voltage, and these drives require both high voltage and low voltage. So the 12 volts is connected over to here. So we'll go ahead and flip that on. And we should get something talking over here. And it's going to do its little calibration routine. Tell me to hit enter. And boom, we're in. So it looks like we've got 140 volts, which is about right because I think I cranked it up to, I got about 110 AC going into it because I don't want to actually charge my batteries. I just want to get it in that sweet spot of it's there, right? Because it's a 144 volt pack. So we're going to be just a little bit below that to keep it from actually trying to charge the batteries. Just stiffen it up a little bit. We are hooked up to the motor. So I can go ahead and spin it by hand. So you can see RPM is definitely going up. Just spinning it by hand here. And we'll go spin it the other way. So we've got that working. Everything else looks like everything else looks okay. I don't see anything. However, there's one thing we'll need to change. This is for an AC21 motor. This is an AC GTX 20 motor. They're very similar in size, so we'll be okay. We don't have to change any parameters, but we do have to change one parameter. This is a 48 pulse encoder on it, and an AC21 motor has a 60 pulse encoder. So one thing we'll have to go into is the parameters here and change that so it'll work. Yeah, see, it's currently set to 60 instead of 48. So we'll go and type in, we want to go edit number 29. And then we want to type in 48 pulses. And now we should be at 48. And it'll stay like that until we reboot it. So it shouldn't be too bad. So now we're back to this. And let me double check that works. So spinning the encoder still works. Spin it the other way still works. And if we hit P, yeah, so it just temporarily does that, which is nice. I like working on these controllers because they're very simple. So their symptoms were that it wasn't working, so we'll go ahead and try it out now. We'll flip this on. Contactor clicked in, relay came on, power stage pre-charged, so everything looks like it's good. I'm going to put it in forward. We'll see if forward works. Reverse works. It says I've got regen on, which regen enabled, regen disabled, so that looks like it's good. So we'll put it in forward. We're going to give it a little bit of throttle, see what happens. Now on the UMOCs, the throttle is actually 1/4%. It's like on the AMCs it starts right in the middle, like 50%, but on these it starts over here. If you've got one of my test boxes, that's why the outer ring is in a gold and it says for UMOC drives. So we're gonna creep up on that edge very slowly so I don't launch the motor off the desk. Oh, there it goes. I have regen off, because again, we're hooked up to the capacitor of doom, and we don't want to accidentally put power into it, but the rotor RPM is definitely going. It is negative, but that might be, there's a bit that you can also flip in the parameter that will change the direction, what it considers forward and reverse. It thinks it's in forward since, yeah, it's actually in forward. So it's reading the box correctly. There is a sign bit that you can change for rotation that reverses it. So I'm not too worried about it, that it's acting like it's going backwards, because that's probably correct depending on how your gearbox is. I believe this is for a Zamboni, so for an electric Zamboni or ice scraper. I think Zamboni is probably a registered trademark of something, but go ahead and put it in reverse, give it some throttle. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think it works. So I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna have to. I'll share this video with the customer and see what they think. But not seeing anything wrong with it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, granted, I'm not putting under a load, but they were under the impression it didn't work at all. So yeah, I'll contact them and see what they say. And yeah, it looks like it works. Well, this is an easy repair. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and shut this down, but yeah, it looks like everything's working. So anyways, it was kind of an anticlimactic video. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.